This morning on BRN, the biggest mistakes people make when buying a new car. Joining me now to discuss this, Ray McGrath is an automobile enthusiast. Ray, so great to see you again. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Oh, glad to be with you, Jeff.
Edmunds just released the 5 biggest mistakes people make when buying a new car. And I wanted to run them by you to get your perspective. Let's start with number 1, trading in a vehicle with negative equity, something that's happening more and more, Ray.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's a problem because people overpaid a little bit during the pandemic. Cars are, they're not investments, they're depreciating assets, and that's all too familiar. And people are extending, or they're rolling it over into the new loan and extending the time period. So it's a big conundrum.
Yeah, and you make a good point. And just to pick up on that, when you have negative equity or an existing lease payment, you roll into another car, they're not just forgiving that loan, they will roll it into the new loan or the new lease. And therefore your lease payment will go up. So you're essentially paying for 2 cars. So maybe not a great financial tactic there.
No, definitely not.
Let's talk about the next one here. Rushing, this one I think I've done, I think a lot of people do. Rushing into a vehicle purchase, Ray. So many people, they see the car of their dreams, the Jeep Cherokee that they wanted, the Dodge Charger, right? They see this car that they dreamed about, they rush in and buy it.
Yeah, impulse buying. I mean, it's great for dealers because it helps them become more profitable. But, an educated consumer, and it's probably not the person that's watching us today, would do their research and maybe, rent a car or borrow a car for a while until they figure out what the market dynamics are. And unfortunately, not everyone does that. They want instant gratification.
Well, they do. They want to get the car that sits their image of themselves, right? They're trying to portray an image. And look, we're all doing that. We dress a certain way to portray an image. I want to look like the yuppie. Some people dress like a
You look
hipster,
like George
whatever.
Clooney, sporty yet practical.
Sporty yet practical. But the reality is you need to think about what you're going to buy. And we've talked about it with you and Ashley King. What's a car insurance going to be, Ray? Because the car you buy, whether it's the Aston Martin, which I love, or the Dodge Charger, or the Toyota RAV4, that has an impact on your car insurance too.
Definitely. I mean, Hyundais, they've gotten a lot of popularity, and Kias because some of them are easy to steal. Hellcats, we talked about it in the past. Teslas come with higher premiums. Yeah, so it's good to do your research.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about this next one. I think these all kind of dovetail into each other. Going to only one dealership. You go to the dealership, and look, I know it's a pain in the rear end. It's mileage. The price of gas is so expensive, but you really need to, when you do your due diligence, think about going to neighboring dealerships because you might get a better deal.
And that is 100% true. Just go, and I'll pick on Honda. Just going to one Honda dealer, you're not going to get the same price as another. It's not like Walmart, really. You have to negotiate and do your research.
And why is that, Ray? Is it because they're all centers of profitability? They're all in different sales.
I mean, if the sales rep can sell you X, Y, and Z and mark it up to this, and you're not an educated consumer, you don't know. It's not like you're going to the 7-Eleven and buying a big gulp where it's all $1.99. It's not. That doesn't work that way because they're independent franchises, these dealerships.
And what about dealer loyalty? I know someone who always buys from the same salesperson. I guess I can kind of see where that would have merits and benefits. But again, I always think of the time I'm going in to buy anything, a car, a house. Not that I bought a house recently, but there's a market, and that market exists today. So does that loyalty to your favorite car salesperson, salesman, saleswoman, whatever, pay off?
I think it does because you know what? Maybe you're not overly concerned about, saving $100 here or $100 there. But if you get good service and you have a good relationship and it's someone you could trust, there's definitely a value in that. And really, I mean, I know a lot of people probably after the fact look at what that car goes for somewhere else. But I think if you're happy with doing that, why not? And especially if it's someone you have a good relationship with and they'll take care of you down the road, honor any type of warranty claims you might have. You could put a value on that if it's a comfort value. It's not always about saving $400, so to speak.
Yeah, or $400 amortized over a 5-year, 60 payment loan, right? I mean, it's really small, even for the most modest consumer. Ray, just to follow up, one more thing. You buy the car from the dealership. Do you have to get it serviced there, or do you look elsewhere for service? So say I bought it over here by company A, they're closer, and then company B also offers service. Maybe they're a little bit further, but do you have to get your car serviced at the same place you buy your dealership? Because I bet you they would like that.
They would, because I mean, theoretically, the dealerships make a good living off the service part of their franchise. But if it's Ford or General Motors, their products can basically be serviced by any. You can take your Buick to a Chevrolet dealer or vice versa. But if it's a Tesla, obviously, you're kind of in their infrastructure, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to get it serviced by a Tesla. Right. They're not. Are they as individual franchises, or are they?
That I don't know. I believe it's all corporate owned, because when you look at a Tesla, you're going on Tesla's website and it tells you where to pick up the. So I believe that's all. That's not the traditional dealer network that we're familiar with. When you're dealing with Audi or Honda or Chevrolet. So
yeah, much more homogeneity, if I can use that word. I'm into big words today. Last question, Ray. Let's talk about dealership pricing. I think buying a car, I can't think of anything else, maybe buying a house, but that transparency not always there. How do you align the costs of the same car from each dealer? Because they all have different features and functions. It's really hard to get the same car at each dealer, meaning same color, same features. How do you figure out, how do you get that transparency?
Yeah, there's definitely a gap in the marketplace for that, but I'm not sure, Jeff, because that's a tough one, because you're never going to find the exact same suite of even if you want a particular color and a exterior, interior, but then and the same options. It's hard, but a lot of times you have to make concessions if or especially if you want the hot model. There's still premiums on certain vehicles where they're charging over sticker.
Yeah, I wonder if it's helpful to take a piece of paper like I have here, which is the story, put some columns and say dealer A at the top, dealer B, dealer C, put the car, and then you can put the MSRP. I mean, I think you got to apply it almost like you're building a little spreadsheet. And I guess it makes sense, Ray, to get several bids, and you can do a lot of that online now.
Right. And one thing you didn't mention is the extended warranty. I mean, the dealer, while you have your wallet open, they'd want you to buy that extended warranty. But, you have a window of where you still can buy it, a month later. And actually, there are some dealers, and I'll just say in the Midwest, that'll sell a Chevrolet warranty for a lot less than your local dealer, and it's the exact same warranty. So it's always good, if you're going to buy the warranty, if it makes you more comfortable, buy one issued by the vehicle manufacturer. So then you have a guaranteed level of service. Third-party warranty companies, a little bit hazy there, and you don't always get what you're promised.
Yeah, and there are a lot of commercials, by the way, I see on the local TV here, trying to sell warranties by third parties.
We could probably do a whole show on warranties, although we might get sued. I don't know.
Well, we would try to be open and facts and not defame anybody. Ray, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We look forward to having you back again next month.
Thank you, Jeff.
And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place. I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.